Welcome once again, gentle folks, to another Bundesliga predictions and betting tips video for your upcoming game week. I hope you had a wonderful game week last week and you had some really wonderful results and you had some big winnings. Alright, thank you for watching my videos, and as usual, I want you to subscribe to my channel, share these videos on your social media pages, and ensure that you click the notification bell so as soon as I send out my videos on a weekly basis, you can get these videos. Alright, sorry about that noisy motorcycle that just passed by my home. My humblest apologies. You might have not heard anything I said just now, but thank you once again for joining, and get out your pens and your papers and take your notes. All right, thank you again. Let's get straight into it. Werder Bremen versus Hertha Berlin, and for this game now, Bremen versus Hertha Berlin, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. In terms of predicted scoreline here, I'm going to go with Bremen to win this one. Well, not Bremen, I'm going to take Hertha Berlin to win this 1-1. Otherwise, it's Bremen to win 2-1. Bremen is at home, but Bremen is unpredictable, and hence the reason why I'm taking Hertha to win this one by 2-1. Alright, so in terms of a combination bet, not combination handicap system, that is based on my predicted scoreline, Hertha to win by a goal here. That would mean that we'd have to take here Hertha. This is going to be a draw. Alright, on the handicap system, I should go with Hertha at -1. Alright, so based on my predicted scoreline. So recapping predictions for Werder Bremen versus Hertha Berlin, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go ahead and say either team to win and both to score. In terms of a correct scoreline, I'm saying 2-1 in favor of Hertha Berlin, and then also as it relates to the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a draw here on the three-way system, alright, based on my predicted scoreline. So moving right along, and the next game here is Bayern Munich versus Mainz. Bayern Munich versus Mainz here. As I said, teams will be playing in Europe this week, so teams like Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, that is, and also I think it's Union. I think Union plays in Europe as well. So those teams, their game might be impacted in one way or the other, especially if they have major injuries. Alright, so let's get back to the predictions. So Bayern Munich versus Mainz, I'm expecting Bayern Munich to win this one. Both teams to score, I'd say yes. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. In terms of correct scoreline now, I'm going to go with Bayern Munich to win this one 3-1. Don't be surprised if you get a totally other result. But Bayern has provided us with some surprising results this season. Alright, so in terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to take Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions for Bayern Munich versus Mainz, I'm expecting Bayern Munich to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of the combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Bayern Munich, and on the handicap system, I am taking Bayern Munich to win this one by a goal as well. Alright, so those are my predictions for Bayern Munich versus Mainz, and now we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game is RB Leipzig versus Bayern Leverkusen. Both teams playing in Europe this week, so this should be an interesting game when they do meet. I'm expecting both to score as well in this game. In terms of combination bet, you could go with this. I go with either team to win and under either team to win and both to score. In terms of correct scoreline here, I'm going to go here. I'm going to say here we're going to have a 2-all draw. Otherwise, it should be RB Leipzig coming out on top if either of them manage to score an odd goal here. Alright, so in terms of handicap system, if you should go with Leipzig to win by a goal, based on my predicted scoreline here, Leipzig would be losing here. Alright, they would be losing based on my prediction, because on the handicap system they would have lost 3-2. Alright, so that means we'd go with Bayern Leverkusen at +2. Alright, and the three-way system here. Alright, so recapping predictions for Leipzig versus Bayern Leverkusen. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and both to score. In terms of also my correct scoreline, I'm going with 2-all for this game, and also in terms of the handicap system, three-way that is, I'm going to go with a +1 for Bayern Leverkusen here. Alright, so those are my predictions for Bayern Leverkusen versus RB Leipzig. Alright, now we're gonna skedaddle on over into our next game, and our next game is Stuttgart versus Augsburg. Augsburg have been having some good results off late, and so it's good news for them, and they really needed it, and so therefore they're looking in a positive direction. Stuttgart, but it won't be easy playing against Stuttgart. Those they should be a tough encounter. Interesting one, I do believe. Right, so I'm going to say both teams to score here. In terms of Park score line, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say that we should have 2-1 in favor of Augsburg. In terms of the combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and under 3.5 total goals, that is. On the handicap system, as I say, take Augsburg to win by a goal, and based on what we have here, this would be a draw on the handicap system. Alright, so recapping predictions for Stuttgart versus Augsburg. I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of correct scoreline, I'm going to go with 2-1 for Augsburg here, and in terms of combination bet, I would say either team to win and under 3.5 goals in total with this game. Alright, we're getting $1.85 for that. That's really good odds. And also on the handicap system, the three-way system, that is, I'm going to go with Augsburg here. Augsburg with this game, with Augsburg to win by a goal, I'm going to go with a draw on the handicap system based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so those are the predictions from the Stuttgart versus Augsburg game, and now we're going to move right along to our next game, and our next game is Wolfsburg versus Bochum. Wolfsburg versus Bochum. It should be an interesting matchup. I do believe that Bochum, I do believe Wolfsburg should be able to pull themselves out of this. I'm just going to say both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying 2-0 in favor of Wolfsburg. Alright, otherwise it might be 2-1. So in terms of a combination bet, I will go ahead and I'll take Wolfsburg to win this one by a goal. Alright, Wolfsburg to win by a goal. So recapping predictions for Wolfsburg versus Bochum. I'm expecting here both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll say either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Wolfsburg, and on the handicap system, I'll take Wolfsburg to win this one by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for Wolfsburg versus Bochum, and now we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game is Eintracht Frankfurt versus Borussia Dortmund. Both teams playing in the Champions League this week. Alright, so let's see how that affects the game coming this weekend. But as it relates to my predictions for this particular game, I'm going to take here Dortmund to win this one. Dortmund to win, and I'm going to say both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm going to say here we're going to have a 2-1 victory for Dortmund. Otherwise it might be 3-1, or we might have a 3-2 victory. You never know. With these games in Bundesliga, this is the league that has the most goals on average on a yearly basis, I think. Outside of the area there, Alright, so on the handicap system now, I'm going to take here, so based on my predicted scoreline, you'd have to go with Dortmund to win this one by a goal. But based on what my score is here, if this would, on the handicap system, they wouldn't be winning by a goal here, it would be a draw. And so hence the reason why I'm going to have to take a draw here. Alright, so therefore now, recapping predictions for Eintracht Frankfurt versus Borussia Dortmund. I'm expecting Borussia Dortmund to win. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Borussia Dortmund, I do believe. And in terms of the handicap system, based on my predicted scoreline, I'm going to go with a draw on the three-way handicap system, that is. Alright, so those are my predictions for Borussia Dortmund versus Eintracht Frankfurt. And now we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game is Union Berlin versus Borussia Mönchengladbach, and this game is on Sunday. Union Berlin versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Union Berlin leading the German Bundesliga, doing very well since the start of the season, and I'm going to take them here to handle business here. Being at home, I'm going to take them to handle business. Union to win here, both teams to score. I'm going to say yeah. In terms of combination, you go with either to win and both to score. Predicted score line here, I'm going to take a 3-1 in favor of Union. And in terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go with Union to win this one by a goal as well. Alright, so Union to win by a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions for Union Berlin versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. I'm expecting Union Berlin to win. Both teams to score as well. In terms of combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. Getting $2.62 for that. That's really nice. In terms of my predicted scoreline, I'm going to go with 3-1 in favor of Union Berlin. On the handicap system, I would go with Union Berlin to win this one by a goal as well. Alright, so those are my predictions for Union Berlin versus Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then we're going to move on to the next game, and the next game is Schalke versus Freiburg. Freiburg are doing very well this season as well, and but they'll be playing away. They tend to do better at home, Freiburg that is. But this game against Schalke should be an interesting matchup, and I don't think it's going to be easy for either team. So I'm expecting both of them to score. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me in this one, I'm going to take here Schalke to squeeze Freiburg by 2-1. Otherwise, I think it should be the other way around. Freiburg 2, Schalke 1. But I'm going to go with Schalke 2, Freiburg 1 in this case, as you can see here. In terms of the handicap system, based on my predicted scoreline, I am going to have here Schalke to win by a goal, but I'm going to have to take a draw here based on what I have in terms of predicted scoreline. Alright, so therefore, recapping predictions for Schalke versus Freiburg. I'm expecting here both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I would say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Schalke. And the handicap system, 3-way that is, I'm taking Schalke to win by a goal. I'm going to have to take a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so those were my predictions for Schalke versus Freiburg, and we're going to move on to the final game for this game week, and that game is Cologne versus Hoffenheim. Alright, Cologne versus Hoffenheim here. Hoffenheim, I think, coming off a victory the last weekend. Not a victory. I think Bayern Munich beat them, yeah? And so, therefore, this one is going to be another close encounter, I do believe. But I think this one is anybody's game, and as a result, I'm going to say both teams to score. But with a combination as well, either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, this is where it gets interesting now in terms of a predicted scoreline for this game. This is where it gets interesting, yeah? As I said, it's anybody's game, to be honest with you. It is anybody's game. Anybody's game, but I'm going to take Hoffenheim to win this one 2-1. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around, but as I said, it's anybody's game. In terms of combination bet, taking Hoffenheim to win this one 2-1, Hoffenheim to win this one by a goal. This means that we end in a draw here in the handicap system. Alright, then say, but you can also go ahead and you can take Cologne at +1. Alright, so that means if it's at +1, that means if this game ended 2-1 in favor of Hoffenheim, that means that it would have been 2 for them and 2 for them. That means that it would have been a draw. Alright, so we have to go with the draw here. So it means that it would have been a draw on the handicap system. It ends 2-1, yeah. So therefore, recapping predictions for this game now. Cologne versus Hoffenheim. I'm expecting Hoffenheim to win here. My scoreline says Hoffenheim to win, but I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. In terms of scoreline, 2-1 in favor of Hoffenheim. And on the handicap system, I'm going to go with a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, 3-way handicap system, that is. Alright, so those are all my predictions for your German Bundesliga for this week. I hope you took all the notes, and I wish you happy betting and wish you all the best results and all the greatest results for this upcoming game week. Subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell whenever you subscribe as well, so that as soon as the video comes out, you can get it. Also, share these videos on your social media platforms with your friends via WhatsApp or whatever you want to use, yeah, so that we can spread the word. This is just another means to earn passively and have multiple streams of income. As you know, in this day and age, you can afford to have only one stream of income. So alright then, thank you very much for your time. Happy betting, and I wish you all the best of luck this weekend. And thank you very much for joining me for another week for your German Bundesliga predictions and betting tips. Bye.
It sucks when you finally feel like giving up. Oh God, no luck. Everything feels like you're sticky stuck. I'm lost, handcuffed to the bed where I sleep. Don't give a fuck.